Yo, what's up everyone? As you can see here, we are starting the video off differently. I actually want to showcase off my rhythm build. I apologize that I didn't get a chance to pump the video out sooner. I'm getting a lot of questions about my rhythm,
Weapons, supplies,
but
power levels,
she
mission
isn't really
plans. Check
complete,
completed for
which
the
is why I was
17th
kind of
time.
scared to really showcase
Standing
her,
by.
but you know, everyone keeps asking about it, so I'm just going to shoot it out. Unfortunately, her build won't be completed until she is until I am trial rank 60. I'm currently trial rank 59 right now. I I took a nice little break. I passed out working on another video. And then obviously I woke up, took a shower and everything like that. And now here we are, and I'm still tired because I am heavily sleep deprived. But let's get into the video and let's talk about her build. So I'm gonna run through my whole thought process for the build and why I got my build set up the way it's set up. Now, Rhtyhm, she's definitely a huge AoE character. I really like her crowd controlling capabilities. I like the movement speed increase she gets. I love the whole shebang, right? She makes me feel like I am Miyabi, but in electro format rather than ice format. So that kind of explains the little clips you saw in the beginning of the video and why I play the way I play. So, right off rip, we're going to start with Ravaging Thunder. This skill module here is just going to give us, it increases your electro character's damage. You get like one stack every time you use an ability, and you get up to like 8 stacks, which is pretty nice, right? Especially considering the fact that if I'm dodging through the crowds and stuff like that, constantly pop my E, I'm essentially boosting my damage. It's 16 seconds. It's pretty decent. It's nothing crazy. I don't really get the full stacks a lot of times. Now, you could potentially spam the E if you really wanted to, which is kind of nice when I'm doing like bossing and stuff. Assuming that the boss isn't dead. Uh, and it's not like it's like the craziest thing in the world, but it's still something, right? Next, we got the Wings of Ispo going on. Now, I don't have the gold version because I'm pretty sure you have to get trial rank 60. And that kind of sucks, as well as like most of the demon wedges here that I want to like improve upon and get. I got to be trial rank 60, it looks like, to get the gold variations. So it's going to take a long time, right? So her build feels kind of clunky. So we're running Wings of Inspo, gives you max sanity and skill efficiency. Really nice. This is gonna help with the drainage of her Q, as well as increase her damage because she also scales off her max sanity. So that's kind of important. So make sure you definitely have this on. If you decide to replace anything in my build, you 100% need to have this though. I would highly recommend you have this. Next, we're running the Thunder Wildfire. This one is going to give us more skill range, damage, and electro attack. Now, I thought about running a duration one like before, but because of the fact that I was really trying to uh, help with the CC capabilities, I like to just nuke everything. I went with range. Because before, I didn't have too much issues with their drainage. Like, I was pretty good. Duration does affect drainage just a little bit, just to let you guys know. It does actually reduce the cost a little bit. So if you want to run the other wedge, I think is what is it? Yeah, this one, Midnight Sun. You can throw this on. I might honestly switch to this one until I hit TR 60 because at least I can farm this one now. I can get the gold demon wedge for this one. So this one might be the one I switch to next. But I'll let you guys decide. I still haven't bit the bullet on it yet. I'm so close to TR 60. I'm just one more final push and I'll probably get it done and I can probably make the rest of my build just work the way I want it to work. But I also might get her I2. If I get her I2, I really don't need this. So just gonna throw it out there right now. I am currently I1, and with the I1, I get a little bit more AOE, but then the I2 just lets my DPS transfer over, so it's pretty much like another version of range. So maybe I might take the range one off. Just want to throw that out. Blaze Volition, we're running for the attack percent and the skill damage. I'm trying to get her overall numbers up. As you can see right now, she's only at 851 damage or electro attack, but I'm doing over like 300k a tick at times, so it's not bad. It's really good. And obviously, the skill damage is pretty self-explanatory. You just want her lightning to just do more damage, essentially. And her attack is just really nice when she's using things like her weapon, her primary, anything. Like, it doesn't really matter. Trapped. Now, Trapped is one of my favorite mods. I've run this mod on like pretty much a lot of my characters. Any character that does like any kind of like CCing capabilities, I use Trapped 4. This increases our damage dealt whenever enemies are within a 20-meter range of you, so you do more damage. This is really nice because the way I personally play, right? You might think this is like stupid and redundant. I mean, like, yo, Render, why are you running that ability? She has so much range, it doesn't make any sense. And it's because of the fact of how her damage transfer works, and the fact that when I'm meleeing or I'm diving into crowds, I am surrounded by enemies. So the lightning that I hit them with just transfers out, and all the enemies behind the walls and stuff like that, like that's really far away, I am doing massive amounts of damage to them. I'm pretty much hitting with 24% more damage dealt because I'm surrounded by crowds. Like I am intentionally using her to dive into massive mobs of enemies just so I can keep the damage up and do more damage as a whole. So this is actually just really good, right? So I really like Trapped for that sense. If you don't want this module, if you don't think it's necessary, you can replace this with any other mod you might think is necessary for your build. Even if you want to put like another quality of life module in there, probably you could probably do so. But I'm doing it for the damage to help her get into the higher scaling of enemies. It's why I'm able to like go a little bit higher into the end game. But again, this is more of like a, you don't, I'll say yeah, it's not necessary, but like in my opinion, it's kind of necessary because I'm doing like the high end content. But majority of the content, if you're not someone who's going like high levels or high rounds or anything like that, then you don't really need it, right? Because let's be real, it's not that many, not a whole lot of purpose to it, right? I'm just building for end game. Uh, Another Blaze Volition here. I got to get the gold variations. I do have a gold variation, I'm pretty sure, or I have one ready or something like that. Maybe for one of my other characters, I don't know. Actually no, maybe I don't have it yet, but I need to farm up like 2 of these bad boys, or bit more than 2 because you can't stack a gold with a purple, so that kind of sucks. So until I can actually focus on Demon Wedge farming, I just can't get any of her Demon Wedge's gold other than this one, right? Next we got the Inspo Elapse. This is actually really good. This one I'm using just for the skill efficiency. I don't really care for the HP drainage that is here for now because I'm really suffering on trying to stay inside her buff state, aka her Q. So I am running this as well to try to also help this out. And we're sacrificing some of our survivability, but it's not needed because we just do so much damage and we kill everything around us that it doesn't necessarily matter what's actually happening here. And then the way her ability works is that she creates 2 points of contact with like another enemy and it like pulls them together, kind of like a stun effect, and it's just really nice. So don't worry about the HP percentage. I will replace this. I plan on getting some more quality of life or something like that, potentially. And then next we are running Prime Uplift. I'm using Uplift so I get more damage dealt to the target as well as boosting my teammates and stuff like that when she's playing. Now, if you think I have too much damage dealt, you can actually replace this for a little while. I was running with Serenity. I did have a Serenity module on her at one point, and I recently took it off. I actually don't know where my Serenity went. Did I accidentally eat my Serenity? Or delete it? I don't know. I had a Serenity upgraded. Orless. I'm pretty confident I had a Serenity upgraded. Anyways, yeah, so you can replace this with Serenity if you really want to get some more efficiency on her ult. Like I'm not gonna lie, when I was using it before, it didn't really combat it too well, unless you were running other units who had Sanity as well, because Sanity does stack. I don't know why people think that the Sanity doesn't stack. It does stack. If you do run your team with like all Sanity regen, it's pretty nice in that sense. And then with the skill efficiency, if you slap on some duration, you can do it. You'll be sacrificing some damage, but if that's what you're okay with, then 100% go that route. Moving on to the weapons of choice I like to use right now. I love using the Momoji Iteki, or this katana is one of my favorite katanas. Now, this is really important for the build, right? So for the katana build, we are running Fenrir's Fervor, and we're going to use this because it's going to give us increased movement speed for 10 seconds after we defeat an enemy. And because I'm primarily meleeing enemies and I'm staying into the mobs and stuff like that, I get increased damage dealt to the target. Also, the katana itself, one of its innate passives is when you do damage with the katana, you also increase the damage dealt by the katana, and it gets stacks. So us having the damage dealt on our uh on our rhythm with the damage dealt from the katana, as well as us getting like another damage dealt increase from just being surrounded by enemies, it is really, really nice. I do massive amounts of damage with the katana. My katana rips through the enemies. Okay? And the movement speed is super nice. Because of the fact that it also stacks with the movement speed buff that Rhythm gets, making me have that Miyabi like feel when I'm dashing through to the next enemy. It just feels really, really nice. And trust me, when you get that thing up and going, she feels like a beast. She feels like an absolute monster. No other character makes me feel the way I feel when I'm playing Rhythm with the melee weapon. Next, we are running Focus. Sorry, my phone was setting the alarm clock off. We're running Crit Chance on our Rhythm. Oh, sorry, not Rhythm. On our katana. I got distracted there. My phone started like going off for a little bit. The crit chance is pretty self-explanatory. This weapon, this katana, is mainly a crit-based weapon, believe it or not. It scales higher into the crit chance, crit damage than the trigger probability. So unfortunately, it's not really like the craziest meta weapon when it comes to doing trigger probability. So I'm not always applying my electro dot ticks, and that really sucks, right? Because trigger probability, in my opinion, is the best thing inside the game. I think a lot of weapons that scale on trigger probability are probably the strongest weapons. But this katana does have its merits. It has a lot of crit damage that it gives you and your character or in the weapon itself. So with that being said, it does have its perks that makes it S tier, and it can keep up pretty well compared to like other weapons that are just primarily just crit chance, crit damage. It does have a lot of raw damage to it, and it does make a perfect stat stick. Moving on, we're going to the Impetus Focus. So this one's going to increase my attack percent and my crit chance. It's giving me more damage. I do have the gold variation, so I am working on it. I'm getting a bigger boost. By the time I get this, like the next one, I think I'll be in a 70% threshold. And this one is pretty solid. I would recommend if when you get to the point where you can start farming gold demon wedges to just obviously just grab this one. It's pretty easy to farm for, and it's a really solid one, right? We're going to run Fenrir's Crescent Flurry as our next one. This one increases your katana range. This is really, really, really great. It also increases all of the damage that we're doing with the katana with every other basic attack string. So that's pretty nice. And then the heavy attack is that huge charge attack that you see when I'm coming slamming down. There's like a bunch of like slashes everywhere, and it's just really good at just like mobbing crowds. Sorry, I can't speak right now. So definitely recommend it. It gives that flashy play style, and then overall just increases your katana damage and gives you more range. So you're not like you don't feel like you have like little arms, right? Trying to punch like a giant, right? You have long arms, you can slap box with them. So definitely get this one. Brutality. Brutality, this one's really great. This kind of goes hand in hand with some of the other ones we had with the crit rate, crit damage. And it also gives us attack speed, which we really, really, really like. So again, going with that Miyabi feel, once I get bloodlusted and I like get that one kill and I get the movement speed increase, this feels absolutely sensational, right? I get an attack speed increase too when I'm like meleeing and stuff like that, and it helps me DPS even faster. Also helping me maintain my buff on my increased movement time, because every time I kill with the melee, you know, I'm not only going to get the attack speed, but I'm also going to keep my movement speed. So this lets me have a nice flow that synergizes well when I'm just running through slicing everything up. Rage crit damage, again, pretty self-explanatory, just more damage overall. This katana has a lot of crit damage scaling, so we're definitely going to just keep pumping all of our crit damage on there, because that multiplier is ridiculous, right? It gets even higher than that, especially once I start getting some more cons and stuff, or refinements. Then next, we're running Impetus. As you can see right here, in case anyone was curious, at tier 3, we are already at 122% attack, which is absolutely ridiculous. Really makes it feel strong. For a while, I was running the purple one. You don't really have to worry about too much of the gold, but again, it's really easy to farm this one. So like, if you can start farming gold mods, definitely go out there and go get this. This is not that bad. It's actually pretty easy. And last, we got the celery stick. I call it celery because it's easier, right? So celery, attack speed increase, up our overall DPS. Attack speed is honestly phenomenal, and again, just gives that Miyabi flair, right? It just really helps you mob enemies. Attack speed, most people probably don't realize it, but it's a form of DPS, guys. Don't be scared to slap attack speed on. Most of my builds that you'll see me post on YouTube is most likely going to be abusing attack speed like crazy because it is another version of DPS. So there's that. Primary weapons. I do like to play around with primaries quite a bit. I have a lot of primary weapons if you look at my account. And with this girl in particular, she actually is really flexible. Now, this weapon, I don't expect any of you to actually have. I just love using it. It's really fun. I am going to actually take this weapon off and show you the main weapon I do like to use. Now, this weapon is one of my favorite weapons in the game. If not one of my favorites, probably my most favorite weapon. I love beam rifles, and this one's really cool. This gives you trigger probability, and this kind of helps out with the fact that the katana doesn't have high trigger probability. So what this weapon does for our Rhythm is going to give her a 75% trigger probability, letting her abilities like actually like chain off and do more of the dot ticks that it's supposed to do. But also, it gives us when an electro character triggers bonus effects with this weapon, the user gains 45% skill damage for 10 seconds. So this also increases your damage further with your Rhythm. It is phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. So even when you sit there and decide to switch off and you're like, all right, I don't want to sit there and go in melee with the crowd and stuff like that, you can just pop her Q and you can just run around there and just start tasering people with this gun. And it chains off. It chains the damage. So not only is the gun chaining, but your abilities are chaining, and it's just so incredibly strong. I highly recommend you go out and grab this weapon. It's a real quick, I almost forgot one of my favorite weapons inside this game is also the entropic singularity. This pistol is one of the main pistols you'll catch me using on my Rhythm a lot, and I almost forgot to include it when editing the video, and I was like, oh my god, I gotta go back, I gotta record a little small snippet really quickly. So yes, if you don't want to farm the Thunderworm or anything like that, that is totally fine. This weapon is honestly a beast. Don't sleep on this weapon. Getting this weapon as well is also great for characters like Niffle. So if you are looking to build Niffle or anything like that, I would also recommend this one. Now, I'm not going to be the kind of person like it's the best in slot. It's not a best in slot. There's no such thing as best in slots. But this is still a really good pistol that I'm definitely going to recommend you guys go out and grab. It has the 75% trigger probability again. Same reason or same explanation I gave for the Thundering Worm. You know, it really helps her out in that sense with applying her dot ticks and stuff like that. And it's just a beast in her hand too when you're firing it, because you can get multiple instances of her electricity because it can also shoot. So it's kind of like has its own built-in multi-shot, and it does 50% of your attack as extra damage. Kind of cracked. You can also easily farm this inside the covert commission shop too, so you don't have to worry about waiting like a week or whatnot. You can just go out and go grab this. So this is one weapon I'm going to hands down recommend. And the last and final perk to this pistol is the fact that it matches my drip. Like, look how drippy I look. You know what I'm saying? Double instant damage. But at a 2.0 ratio, it's guaranteed doing double the damage, so on and so forth, right? So like if it's 3.0, anything like that, you're doing 3 instances of damage. Applying all this stuff here, and each time you apply the instance of damage, it has its own separate chance to do that for version of damage. So like good examples like a shotgun or like the scatter shot bow. Like each projectile that it's fired off, and that has its own unique chance to proc like its own crit or status, right? So it's really, really, really good. Always recommend multi-shot. Just like attack speed, it's another instance of damage. Don't sleep on it. Impetus focus, we are running as well. Increases our attack percent and crit chance, as you guys know from the melee. Again, focus setup, crit damage setup, and then the celery stick setup, and most importantly, furious beam. And I'm really hoping there's a gold version of this because I love this so much. This, not having this on, it was like, oh, okay, the gun's good. But then slapping this onto the gun was like, holy, this gun's a beast, right? This 20% is noticeable. It is great. It's godsend, and I just want more of it. As you can see, just to be on the safe side, I farmed over 26 of them. So I'm ready. By the time I find a gold version, if there is a gold version, I'm about to just heavily farm it and just get it instantly maxed out, all right? I'm ready. But that's it. That's the Rhythm build. If you guys have... Oh, wait. Actually, hold on. I don't want to miss any details. I didn't even shoot a geniemon. So geniemons. Geniemons are important. As you guys know, I do use the Bro Boxy for everything. But I do also have the Battle Pass version for Rhythm. So if you do have the Battle Pass and you manage to get this one, I highly recommend this. This is actually kind of a beast if you are Rhythm main. As you can see, I am Rhythm main. It restores 15 sanity to yourself and allies, and it increases your skill damage by 10.5% for 12 seconds. You cannot go wrong with that, right? And its passive skill is the fact that it also increases the electro attack for the main character and the combat partners. So if you're stacking Rhythm with characters like Sybil, there you go, right? There you go. If you're running like Randy, Sybil, and Rhythm together, that's like your team comp, the mono electro team. Yeah, you're kind of buffing everyone up in that unit or that kit. So definitely recommend this Geniemon. Another Geniemon I like to use before I got the Battle Pass weapon. I did use this one for a little while, but there's another one. I think I kind of ate him because I took his trait or something like that. It's like a car. It's like electro. I think it's like electro catis or something like that. It's like a little car one, but I ate it because it had a trait I really wanted. So I don't have it here to showcase. But that's the Geniemons I would recommend for you. Lastly, on the Demon Wedge here, Prance, I'm using Prance on our Rhythm because it just, after defeating an enemy in mid-area, resets your jump count, and you can just keep doing this multiple times, which is pretty nice. So you can just stay in the air like a levitating goddess, and it just speeds up my farming when I kill an enemy. Because with Rhythm, you can build momentum. So like, say like you bullet jump into like her E skill with the movement speed, and then you shoot your gun and you're gliding in the air. With her increased movement speed, she actually flies faster across like large areas. She gets more of a speed boost there compared to other characters. I think the only other character who keeps up with her is Outsider inside his invisible state. So I use Prance for that very reason. In case you guys are curious, it's not here for cosmetic. It's actually for her movement purposes. I like to abuse that tech. And that's it. Now we are done with the video. Sorry for my voice again, man. Like I woke up and even after I showered and everything like that, I'm still tired. I'm working my ass off here. But thank you. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe, comment below. If you have any questions, let me know which one of these characters you're looking forward to seeing built. I have plenty of builds coming. As you can see, my roster here. I have Psyche, Rebecca. My Rebecca's almost complete. I might do another Rebecca updated guide or video showcasing what she's doing now. Lynn, Daphne, all that stuff. We are actually building a lot of units. I have almost every character in the game. And then I do want to start a weapon guide video as well because I have plenty of weapons I've been messing around with. And I do think weapons are fun inside this game, and I have them pretty strong. So, but yeah, that's it. Thank you guys. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.